In the chronicle of diplomatic and bilateral relations of the Buhari's administration, the January Abu Dhabi World Future Energy Summit remains unforgettable in the annals of history, considering the number of critical issues discussed on the one hand and the win-win bilateral agreement reached between Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates (UAE) on the other hand. The quest and roadmap for a new Nigeria has continued with President Muhammadu Buhari reordering and realigning the priorities of state relations. And today, it is unequivocal that several high-level meetings and conferences attended by the President are manifest in the restoration of the glory and pride of the nation. Nigeria, being a part of the globe, was not left out of the global and Middle East largest gathering on future energy that derives actionable solutions to the world's energy security and climate change challenges. Nigeria's president led a delegation of 7 ministers and top government officials to the all-important 8th edition of World Future Energy Summit, which attracted over 32,000 delegates from 170 different countries, representing expertise from industry, technology, finance and government. The World Future Energy Summit is an annual event dedicated to advancing future energy, energy efficiency and clean technologies. The summit was held under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces. The summit, with the aim to create a sustainable society, was an avenue to catalyze partnerships through the Project and Finance Village, Tech Talk and the Sustainability Business Connect program, where leading companies representing the entire energy spectrum from hydrocarbons to renewable gathered to showcase innovations and share best practices, all scheduled under a summit, an exhibition, the Project Village roundtable discussions, the Young Future Energy Leaders Program, corporate meetings, and social events. The event was hosted by Masdar, Abu Dhabi's renewable energy company. The World Future Energy Summit featured a conference program with in-depth panel discussions headlined by international policymakers, world leaders, investors, and experts. The high-powered Nigerian representatives at the summit, led by the President, used the opportunity to cross-fertilize ideas with other participants and tap in from the gains of the summit in the interest of the country. The event had 110 speakers, including Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari, who commended the organizers and founding leaders of the summit. He reiterated Nigeria's commitment to implementing the recommendations for a sustainable future. He drew the attention of the world to paying more attention to the issues of climate change, especially in the African continent.
Abu Dhabi is progressively getting the recognition it very well deserves as an important, if not the most important, renewable capital of the world. Sustainability is woven as a heritage of the United Arab Emirates. Indeed, sustainability is a legacy bequeathed by the late founding father of the United Arab Emirates, Sheikh Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan. May Allah bless his soul. Late Sheikh Zayed was committed to conservation and encouraged the reduction of UAE's environmental footprint. It is gladdening that the wise leadership of the UAE have held on to this enduring legacy of Sheikh Zayed through strategic investments like Mazda, and global partnership in the field of sustainability. Thank you, Abu Dhabi, for consistently continuing to support international action in this sphere. We appreciate the immense contribution worth hundreds of millions of dollars in energy aid to developing countries. UAE investments in a number of international renewable commercial projects is a further demonstration of its commitment to a clean energy and sustainability. Africa is already suffering from the consequences of climate change, which includes recurrent drought and floods. In Nigeria, the drastic drying up of the Lake Chad to just about 10% of its original size has negatively impacted on the livelihood of millions of people and contributed in making the region a hotbed of insurgency. Desert encroachment in Niger, our northern neighbor, and in far northern Nigeria at the rate of several hundred meters per annum has impacted on the existence of men, animals, and vegetation, threatening to alter the whole ecological balance of the sub-region. In the middle and southern part of Nigeria, land erosion threatens farming, forestry, towns and village peripheries, and in some areas, major highways. Constant and abrupt alteration between floods and droughts prove that climate change is real, and therefore a global approach and cooperation to combat its effects are vital if the human race is not to face disaster in the 21st century. We therefore see Abu Dhabi as a partner in the collective efforts to manage climate risks, including the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. Thank you very much for listening to me.
As the people's leader, a program was organized for a worthwhile interaction between the president and Nigerians in the UAE. And the president, in his usual element, reassured the diasporans in the UAE of his commitment to make Nigeria great again by restoring her dignity in the Committee of Nations. He, however, called for their support in their arduous task of nation building.
The three things we identified, firstly was security, secondly was economy, including unemployment, and third, corruption. These are the main things I campaigned on in all the states I visited and all the town halls conducted during my campaign. I think they are just ordinary things, but practical in the sense that unless the country is secure, it cannot be efficiently managed. The problem in the northeast, the Boko Haram, for those that maintain interest in the development, they know that substantial progress was made or has been made, and that certainly at a price in the sense that the military hierarchy has to be completely overhauled. And if you are maintaining...
The forum also provided an opportunity for a first-hand update about the progress made so far under the current administration, particularly in the areas of security and the fight against corruption.
Communication at home, casualties are coming from those who abuse trust. And that exercise will continue as long as we continue to uncover people who abuse trust. in terms of employment, we identified agriculture and solid minerals. Other aspects need deep study or updating existing studies, and maybe a lot of capital. And with the problem of cost of crude oil, we're in very, very bad shape. But agriculture, we can quickly mobilize through local leadership, through reorganizing cooperatives, and giving small farmers some incentive in terms of inputs, fertilizer, pesticides, and extension advice.
Well, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria was established by an act to provide affordable mortgages to Nigerians. When I say Nigerians, we mean both the formal and informal sector Nigerians. That's why it prompted the establishment of another act of the National Assembly, which is National Housing Fund Act, to which FMBN was mandated to manage and administer the violation of the NHF, management of the NHF scheme. The NHF scheme is a contributory scheme whereby all Nigerians earning minimum wage are expected to pay 2.5% of their minimum of their monthly earnings into that fund. The fund is created to create a pool of funds where the contributors can be able to access an affordable mortgage. Affordable in the sense that it's at a 6% interest rate for NHF, and over a longer period, up to 30 years or up to the end of tenure, or before you achieve 60 years of age. This contributory, it qualifies all the contributors to access any of the products and services of the FMBN. The NHF scheme is managed by the FMBN. Some of the products and activities of the FMBN ranges from the provision of mortgage loans to buy or construct or even renovate your own homes. You have the NHF loans, which is given to buy your houses. You can approach FMBN for the purchase of a house from 1 million up to 15 million naira. And the loan is provided to you at 15% interest rate to be over a period of long time. You have to access the NHF loan to buy your house through primary mortgage banks. Primary mortgage banks are some of the establishments established by government to be a buffer between the FMBN and the off-taker, who are the beneficiaries of the NHF. Other product we did is that of home renovation loans. Some of the contributors who want to have their own houses, who want to renovate or upgrade their own homes. So a soft loan is given for you to renovate your house until a maximum of 1 million naira to be over 60 months, which is 5 years. This is also at 6% interest rate. We also just recently launched the rent-to-own product, which is a facility whereby FMBN has already created some houses in more than 23 states of the Federation. Through the rent-to-own, the contributors can go into these houses as tenants, and then subsequently the rental earnings becomes your own mortgage payments over the period of years. So it's a new product that has just been launched, and it's ready for takeoff. We also have the construction loan we give individual contributors. Once you have your own CFO and you have your own land and CFO, certificate of occupancy, which is title land documents, and then you can send us any of your designs and the bill of quantities. You can approach any of our state offices nationwide or the head office where the project is going to be sited for them to create this construction loan for you. The construction loan is given out to the NHF contributors to construct their own houses, to which we disburse money in tranches of 30%, 40%, and 30% to the end of construction of the house. At the end of the construction, deductions commences from your monthly salary to pay back the bank on that at a soft interest rate also. The construction loan is given out at 7% interest rate, which is the cheapest you can find anywhere. And then the other product which we do is that a construction loan to estate developers, to which we have the cooperative housing loan scheme. Well, cooperative societies who are mostly informal sector, they approach the bank with their vital documents that include the design, the land title, the design, the costings, and other documentations. We approve these loans to the individual cooperative members to build the houses under the cooperative society through their selected developer. Once these houses are constructed, we create mortgage loans to the cooperative society members, and then they pay over a longer period of time too. As you quite well know, that FMBN is not under the budgetary limits. We are not funded by government, but there is equity contributions to which the bank was set up. Since establishment of the bank in 1992, or restructuring of the bank in 1992, we are under a capital base of 5 billion naira, to which only 2.56 billion naira has been paid to date. So we are facing the challenges of recapitalization, to which we went through the National Assembly, we went through the channels to ensure that the bank is recapitalized to the tune of 500 billion naira. Because without recapitalization, the bank may not be able to deliver on its mandate. If it's able to deliver its mandate in 1992, over 6 years ago, with the same capital base, things have changed now to the extent that even the primary mortgage bank that depended on FMBN for most of their mortgage connections, they are capitalized to 2.5 billion and 5 billion naira respectively for state and national. Even the commercial banks in 1992, way back in 1992, they are under hundreds of millions of capital base, but now they are nothing less than 25 billion naira capital base. So the bank needs to be recapitalized to the tune of 500 billion, because we create mortgages, long-term mortgages for all Nigerians, various sectors, both formal and informal sector. With the recapitalization, the bank will be able to deliver its mandate, create more mortgages, provide more construction loans to increase the housing stock in the country, and then assist Nigerians to own their own homes. Well, under the current administration, we have achieved a lot. Before the current administration, we find that for an NHL contributor to access a mortgage loan less than 5 million, up to 5 million, he has to pay 10% equity. Above 5 million to 10 million, you have to pay 20%. Above 10 million, you have to pay 30%. So we imagine a civil servant or an individual who wants to have a loan of 10 or 11 million naira. For you to pay 30%, that's 3 million. We realize that why can a civil servant go and get 3 million naira as equity contribution to provide? So the current administration were able, through the board and the present administration of Buhari, to reduce this equity contribution. Anything above 5 million, you pay only 10% equity. Less than 5 million, you pay 0% equity. This is one of the achievements we are able to do. The second one, as I told you, is the rent-to-own product, which with the rent-to-own, you don't even need to pay the equity contribution and even perfection fees. The houses are there for you, and the turnaround time is reduced, to which it doesn't have to go to the head office and the package or whatever. You just approach any of our state offices where those houses are located, and then they profile you, provide you the key, you enter as a tenant, at the same time a mortgage. At the end of your tenure, the house become your own. The third one is the creation of the construction loan. People used to complain that most of the houses we build or we construct through the construction finance are located in the cities, capital cities of the states. What of those that are in various local governments or even in villages and district heads offices, towns? They will not be able to access, because FMBN cannot go to villages and build those houses. But an individual can own a plot and a C of O title, very good title. He can make his own designs, cost it, approach any of our state offices that those houses are located, and then they create construction loan for you. They provide the money for you to construct your own house by yourself at a very liberal stage, to which once you are able to put in 10% on the site in the foundation, will provide the 90% mortgages in 30 tranches. That will enable creating more mortgages, reducing the housing deficit in the country, and then assisting our NHS contributors on their homes nationwide. The last one is the mobile app, which we came before on board when we came. Most of the contributors complain that most of them, they cannot even access the contribution they have done for the current month or even for the previous months or the previous years. Honestly, this is one of the great achievements to which the bank is supposed to have done earlier than now. But it's done now, and we are receiving a lot of responses from our contributors. The star 219 hash is just an hash in any of the Android or iOS mobile, to which once you dial it, it gives you an option. On the mobile dial, you can know your total, your current contribution, your total contribution. You can even know the products and services we render. All the products and services it gives you and how to even access it. It assists you. There is a mortgage calculator there, to which it can give you the affordability. Once you are able to dial through that app, you can dial the amount of money, your gross take home monthly salary, and then the number of years remaining or the months remaining to exit service or to achieve 30 years service or to achieve 60 years of age. With that information, it can give you the type of house or the amount you can access, the amount of loan you can access that gives you the type of house you can access. If you are earning 60,000 naira per month, it takes 20% out of which you want 30. But fly by the number of months, it gives you an amount that can confirm, that can give you an affordability match of the mortgage you can afford. FMBN. I, Architect Ahmed Musa Engiwa, the MD Federal Mortgage of Nigeria, I wish to show our commitment to the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration and the support for the 2019 election of the President Muhammadu Buhari, for the fight against corruption, for the wonderful performance the government has achieved in terms of insecurity, providing security to the nation, providing a lot of amenities that the unprecedented that the nation has never had. Once Nigerians can be able to vote this government, more and more is going to crop up into the government of Nigerians, and the Nigerians are better for it. Vote for Muhammadu Buhari, vote for change.
Zach Amata of the popular television drama series Behind the Clouds, dramatizing the predicament many families in Nigeria face given the shortfall in housing across the country. Dramatic situation. The room is barely enough for his wife and children. The National Bureau of Statistics and the World Bank had put the number of Nigeria's housing deficit at 17 million as at 2012, and this has continued to worsen over the years. The issue of shelter is something no one can do without. All life requires shelter as a cover against danger and harsh weather conditions. The issue of mortgage, which provides funding to low and medium income earners to own houses, unfortunately has remained undeveloped in Nigeria over the years.
Mortgage is about housing loan to individuals to pay over a long time at an interest rate. That's a layman's definition of what is mortgage. The difference between the other mortgages and that of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, ours is a social housing finance sort of, whereby government established Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria in order to assist the low and medium income earners afford housing finance to own their own houses. So a civil servant who has started work now can enter into mortgage and then own a house and pay after his retirement period or when he reaches 60 years.
Considering also the fact that this is a country with a 2.6% population growth rate, we can imagine what we are talking about, which means every year, in terms of this deficit will keep increasing, and which means for us to reduce this deficit, we must really up our game in terms of housing delivery, in terms of mortgage creation.
This is a new dawn in home ownership and housing. Let's shelter the nation together.